Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick and True Detective, Season 1, Episode 1. Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson, they're not here, but Robert Abele and Alonso Duralde are, and Ben Mankiewicz. I was excited about the show, and I think it basically, I think, delivered. I was into this start to finish.
Well, you know, we start out with a deposition, so I thought clearly they were thinking, well, that was so great on Newsroom. Let's do that again. No, it actually, it
shows so much like Newsroom.
It's identical. No, they're setting up a really interesting story where you have sort of current, or at least more recent, McConaughey and Harrelson talking 2012, talking about a case that happened in 1995, when they're working together as partners in Louisiana. It's a horrifying sort of ritual murder, which the deeper into it they delve, the more they kind of start connecting it with other cases involving missing children, and then of course dealing with their own personal demons as well.
And we may get 2002 in the story as well.
Yeah, I mean,
right, that's when their relationship broke off.
Right.
We learn.
Yeah, the nice thing is the writer is set up basically, by having a flashback, or if you can call it a flashback, whatever. You have two different timelines being dramatized. You get that nice thing where you can start piecing together not just the mystery, but like what these two times have to do with each other, which is always fun for an audience member to follow that. And the writer's doing a good job right now of teasing you with things as they talk, and as you see the 1995 acted out, what exactly is happening.
Right. It's really, most of it looks like it'll take place in 95, but who knows?
Yeah,
I think we will get 2002. I think otherwise, why? Go ahead.
No, I was talking with somebody recently about this, and there was something else that they cited that they like when a show feels confident enough, or a movie, where they can just throw out jargon and you can contextually figure out what it is without necessarily having to stop and have it all explained to you.
Nobody did that more aggressively than The Wire, which was like,
right,
come along for the ride or don't if this bothers you, but we are not going to help you.
Not going to help you at all.
Right, and then by about episode 9,
then you're familiar with everything. It was like when NYPD Blue came out. You know, everyone was like, "What's a skell?" And then by the end, everyone's talking about skells and birds, and it's like,
as opposed to 47 Ronin, where like you have Japanese people telling other Japanese people what Ronin means.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So yeah, I prefer less exposition sometimes.
Yeah, and because right away it treats the audience. It treats the audience like it's smart. It knows its audience.
Yeah.
I did start watching it with, I put the subtitles on. I did.
Oh.
I did, which it was interesting. It helped a little. There were a couple times, because some of these, like when they went to the scene in prison with the ex-boyfriend of the girl who got killed. Because he made no effort to enunciate at all.
That was a Cajun-y twang.
And then you turn on the closed captioning, and it turned out he didn't say anything. Like, the words that I missed were like, man. Right? Yeah. But it was still, overall, I like that.
I think it does the thing that I like the most in crime stories, is when the two detectives are just different enough to not feel like it's cliched, that it feels like a genuine tension between the two. And right now the show, what I love is that it's having its cake and eating its stew with their personalities, in the sense that, like, Matthew McConaughey, the writer, gets to write all these like really crazy things from to say that are serious, that are meant to be serious, and you can tell he's a very tortured character. You also get to enjoy Woody Harrelson going, please stop saying weird
Can we have quiet time?
I mean,
now?
which is hilarious.
He goes, hey, how about the car? It's just a
place of silent reflection.
No lack of personal expression.
The car just be a place of silent reflection.
It's great.
Stop saying this shit.
I don't feel like I've ever seen this much of a nihilist on television before.
Oh, I know, but like, the thing is that it's once again, it's hedging its bets. You could be somebody who believes in McConaughey and all the things he says. You could be somebody who believes in Woody Harrelson, all the things he says. It's going to get both audiences. It's
and the interplay is fun to
right, and the interplay is
unfold.
fantastic.
And like, so already you got a zillion questions that you want answered. Like, what happened? What was their fight in 2002 that ended their friendship?
Right.
Why did Woody Harrelson? It feels like in the 1995, a guy is going to be a cop till he's 60. Why is he no longer a cop? Because he's not. It wasn't by choice when he says, I got the securities business and doing some basic PI work. That wasn't.
No.
He didn't quit to do that.
Yeah.
Right. That wasn't the plan.
What happened to McConaughey's daughter?
What happened to McConaughey's daughter? What happened to McConaughey? When did he start drinking? Was it 2002? Why is he sort of completely dropped out? And not so much, I don't for a second believe that McConaughey could have committed the murders. I don't think we're supposed to think that. Is it possible that others think he did. Like, is that seems
Exactly.
That seems to be the subtext of a lot of the interview as it goes along toward the end of the episode.
As you find that thing, as you find out that thing at the end of the episode, you realize that those two cops that are interviewing them now, at first you think, oh, maybe they think McConaughey's involved, but I think no, I think they want his help.
I think they want his help, right?
Yeah.
But you
clearly,
don't know,
the Blair Witch did the actual murder, so you know.
Right. But also, that's a great context to put it in. 1995, when we've seen the West Memphis 3 documentaries, and that's a perfect time. That was 93. This is 95, and this obsession with witchcraft and Satanism and with a great character.
And recovered memories. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, this is the time when the whole recovered memory thing about Satanism was becoming really, really big. When you had
the McMartin trial, I think, was where that had really
but also like Lawrence Wright's book, like his book Remembering Satan, and that whole story that happened in the Pacific Northwest, that came out around the same time. Yeah, so if he gets into that, that'll be the writer. That will be fantastic.
And how great also, I think, just to see like these are the two cops, McConaughey and Harrelson. They do a good job making them look 17 years younger. They do. It's
the aging is good.
The aging is very effective. It's good. It's about like at the end of what you can probably do effectively, realistically.
Sure. Without heavy prosthetics.
Right, so, but like in 95, these are the two detectives handling it. Their boss is white, Kevin Dunn. All the other detectives who are all like lifers and dicks. They're all white, and then we moved to 2012, and the two detectives interviewing them now are these two young black guys.
Yeah,
which I imagine is how the demographic change
to
some extent has happened on the in Louisiana.
Yeah, and obviously you have there's that great scene with the black church where it's like, well, I called the cops twice and nobody ever came.
Right, nobody came. Right, there's a wire.
No, the sense of period.
Lester Freeman.
I know. I was hoping. I was like, is that Lester Freeman? Yes, it is.
Lester, yeah.
But the sense of place is fantastic. I mean, the director is who's apparently directed every single episode of this.
Right?
Yeah. He's a really.
Now he did the Jane Eyre.
He did the Jane Eyre from a couple years ago, which was highly acclaimed and was.
One of the first movies that we reviewed, that I reviewed when I was doing At the Movies, was Sin Nombre.
Oh yeah.
I loved that. I just thought it was really great.
And he's got a great sense of place.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Texture. So the show is really well directed and thoughtfully directed, I think, which is.
And you and I discussed over the weekend on my podcast, Linoleum Knife, about how one of the exciting things about television now is that we're finding this middle ground that isn't cinema and isn't TV, where it's these episodic serialized stories, but that are finite and that don't have the longer. Like this is 8 episodes, and it
won't continue.
Right, and it's a discrete 8-episode story, and if True Detective comes back, it'll be like American Horror Story, where it's another detective story and about different characters. And so I love that that this is going to be sort of this thing unto itself.
Yeah, right.
That you couldn't do in a 2-hour movie, and that you couldn't necessarily stretch out into what traditional network television kind of structure.
And when you do that, you attract people like Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. I mean, like the fact that we're going to get to see these two great actors work every single week on your however you're watching it, your TV screen, your iPad, whatever like that. I mean, it's like that's just great. Right. Yeah. I mean,
is this McConaughey's first TV anything?
I don't know.
First, recurring significant role anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And he said
was Woody Harrelson ever on TV?
Maybe.
But I mean, Matthew McConaughey I think he's said in interviews that one of the attractions of the piece was that knowing that he didn't have to do 6 more seasons of it.
Sure,
it was just a contained piece.
Yeah, right. And he can't. He's apparently now a candidate to win Best Actor.
Yeah,
he was already a candidate. He was the 3rd favorite. He was like Ejiofor and Redford were the co-favorites, and then McConaughey was like 3-1. But I suspect those odds.
Now that he's won the Golden Globe, we were talking about how this was clearly shot Dallas Buyers Club-ish. Like we're getting the gaunt McConaughey, who also pops up in Wolf of Wall Street,
Right.
So we can sort of chart that chunk of his life, I think, by his screen appearances.
How wonderful was that dinner scene?
Oh.
I
love Michelle Monaghan.
So do I.
Yes. She's so great.
She's great, and that was just when Harrelson gets him to come over, just because it's been 3 months, you're supposed to meet my wife and kids. Mm-hmm. And then that moment because McConaughey's wasted, they want to arrange for the guy to pick him up, but because he connected with the wife.
Right,
and maybe that's why they fight in 2002.
Could be.
Who knows? But so is he going to come get you? No, I'm good. It'll hold till tomorrow.
That was great.
That was so great. I loved that scene, and I really was. Each moment of this episode, I got I got more and more into it. Yeah.
And when you see scenes like that dinner scene, and you realize that you can get a great scene outside of the solving of the murder, that really is about the people involved in the solving of it, and just their dynamic and stuff, you just know you're in good hands with the show.
Yeah.
It's like, I like that.
I mean, I remember I interviewed Benjamin Bratt once, and he talked about one of the reasons that he finally left Law and Order was because he said there's only so many ways that you can say, can you think of anyone who'd want to hurt your daughter? Or do you remember the color of the car? And so like this, we're getting a procedural, but it's such a really character-heavy procedural that it gives them something to sort of sink their teeth into.
Jimmy Smits, I interviewed Jimmy Smits, who was still to this day the nicest celebrity I've ever spoken to.
He's a good guy.
And he said the same thing about NYPD Blue. Like it just got, and he also added that David, he didn't say the words, but now we know David Milch was doing so much heroin that that there were no scripts really, and so they were, and he was. I loved how candid he was. He's like, look, there are actors, including Dennis Franz, who was better at like coming up with the stuff. He's like, I like you to give me a script, and then I memorize it, and then I figure out how to say it.
Well, and you can't improvise a procedural.
Right.
He was like, there could be some clues.
He's like, so he'll come in. You guys will be tough on him. You'll be hard on him. Then you'll come in at the end, and Spence will be like, I'm tense. This is making me very tense. Yeah, please write it down. So I also loved we learned so much about McConaughey in this. We know, I think, less about Harrelson. We learned a lot about McConaughey. His daughter's birthday meant something. I did not pick up that it was because his daughter was dead. Then he reveals suddenly to Michelle Monaghan that it's because...
I kind of figured because there was no effort to reach her or anything that was going to be the...
Yeah, I thought maybe just living with the mom and they don't talk to him. But I mean, whatever. I didn't think about it anyway.
And the girl he sees in the says, do you believe in ghosts? I mean, that's obviously his daughter.
Right. Yeah, that was the other connection.
Right. I didn't get it all until afterwards when I get it. But so you think he's this sort of literal intellectual cop, a philosopher cop, thinks differently than every other investigator probably. But then he has that great moment where the wonderful actor, and I was about to look him up, I can't remember his name, but he was in NYPD Blue, often a recurring character in NYPD Blue, and he was in Deadwood. He was the racist stable owner in Deadwood who released when the horse killed the kid, and he ended up killing the black guy in Deadwood.
Are you talking about the guy who plays the Reverend Tuttle?
No, although that was great too.
J.O. Sanders is
right. That was great. But no, the cop who, when he says, "Hey, you guys, you canvassed the bars this morning or last night," and he's like, "We're not going to do your work," and then McConaughey just gets up and slaps him and says, and calls him Rummy. Yeah, because that guy played a drunk in NYPD Blue, that recurring character, and he was drunk in Deadwood. And he's great. He's great. I mean, he has definitely been typecast at this point. But, I mean, he looks like a cop. He seems like a cop. He knows how to play shitty
You don't see a lot of straight guy fight scenes that begin with a slap and end there.
Right. That was also great. They weren't pushed, and McConaughey won that. That guy backed off.
Yeah.
Well, they think he's internal affairs.
Oh, they said that.
Right. They think he's IA.
Yeah.
They think he's IA, or I think
somebody said
IA.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't have the close gap.
I was worried that if he probably struck him, he'd go down. I mean,
I thought they were. I thought the reference there was that he had done something earlier that we don't know about, where he turned in a cop.
Rat. He called him a rat.
So I thought he turned in a cop before.
I think
we may learn more. There's a lot coming up on this.
Anyway, and that you mentioned where the Reverend come in, who's the governor's brother. The governor's named Edward, cousin, right? Eddie Edwards was the governor of Louisiana. There, they rename him Edward Tuttle. But the notion that and it just makes sense. And you see the chief of the state police there, who's just sucking up to those guys. He's just an incompetent buffoon who rises to power everywhere.
Kevin Dunn, just a great character actor.
Yes,
I mean,
totally.
His face tells you everything.
Yeah, he's terrific. But I loved that. I just loved that scene because it's so acceptable that the governor would suggest that we need a task force for anti-Christian crime,
right.
and that literally no one in the state would ever say, "What? It's a ridiculous freaking idea. What are you talking about?" Yeah, but of course they'll get it, and that's what'll happen. So anyway, I was really into it. I liked it a lot. I'm hoping to find this guy's name just to give him a little.
Yeah, for a first hour of television on a show, this very much gets the I'm in, badge of approval.
Michael Harney.
Michael Harney.
So he's the cop who got slapped, and I love his work. All right, we're anxious for the next 7 episode 2. Thank you guys.